Exactly.
And
right.
your co-founder, actually, we should note, Reed Hastings, was named Yahoo Finance's CEO of the decade. You and I have
Deservedly so.
Well, you and I have spoken. You've been very open in your book. That Will Never Work. You've been very open about the way that it ended when you got fired by Reed in a PowerPoint, which was a very interesting anecdote. But in terms of his leadership style, you say it's very deserving. What about it is so deserving?
Reed is courageous and focused. So there's two things. Number one is the focus. The thing about ad-supported, extremely unlikely, only because Netflix does one thing and does one thing exceptionally well. But there's a courage thing here. I mean, I referenced before cash basis spending, and that's about 15 billion, but the P&L basis, the amortized spending, is about 10 billion, which is a measurement of how they are investing today's content in tomorrow's customers. They're way out in front. They're doubling down. They are all in. And that comes from Reed being courageous, not about winning this year or next year. He's looking a long way in the future.
Yeah, well, one more note to add here in the streaming wars. Apple apparently has signed a multi-year overall deal with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who will develop new projects exclusively for Apple TV Plus as both an executive producer and star, according to Bloomberg. This is her first overall deal with a streaming service. We've already seen Apple TV make some pretty big hires, right? In what we've seen. So another big push here is Apple TV kind of dipped their toe in the water, but it looks like they're really throwing their weight behind their streaming service now.
And I think they're going to play a game similar to what HBO played, which is they're not going to try and be all things to all people. They're going to try and have a limited number, high impact, high visibility, and I think probably high quality shows, trying to have a luster which runs over their entire line, that drives sales of their other products.
And for what it's worth, her last show on HBO, which was Veep, was a humongous hit. So those who maybe only know her as Elaine from Seinfeld might be surprised to say that she's still just coming out with absolutely smashing hits on TV. I think Apple TV needs a win. It seems like the morning show, although it had big names like Steve Carell, it didn't get the traction I don't think that maybe it hoped at first. But hopefully maybe Apple TV can leverage this for some.
And it wouldn't be surprising too if they followed the HBO playbook, because they got Richard Plepler too. So
right.
that would make a lot of sense. He was the one over there running everything, and part of the reason why Game of Thrones took off too.
But you do have to compete if you have a smaller budget you're prepared to spend on content. You've got to focus somewhere.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're going to go the HBO playbook on this one, at least based off those two hires. Hey investors, Zack Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.